I completely apologize for coming in late, y'all. But I know ain't nobody can catch this right now, but you can catch it on the replay. Those of you that support this channel, I thank you very much. Those of you that view my videos, I thank you very, very much. I'm gonna tell y'all something. Remember when I said that NA had meetings that were virtual, that you can do it by going on a Zoom call? I figured out how to do that this morning. Technology is such a killer. Let's say that again. Technology is such a killer. Yo, I went there this morning. They was having a meeting, a traditional meeting. Basically, uh, what I mean by traditional, they're just discussing the traditions of NA, of this 12-step program. And I was there, you guys. I was there. I pressed on. I put my name down, and you know, where they asked me to put my name down. Then they took me to the meeting, and they showed me the speaker, uh, whoever else was in the meeting, and this was not just people in South Carolina. This was national. A lot of people was in that room. By the time I joined the meeting, 34 people was already there. 34 people was already there. And basically, when you come in, they ask you your name. So I typed in, my name is Arabia, and I got welcomed into the group. And then they started the meeting. But the only thing about that is, I don't know if their connection was bad or if it was my connection on my end. The meeting kept going in and out, in, out, in, out. And then I would see whoever else was in the meeting. Then, of course, they had me. They would show me like I was in a little corner box, you know? They showed me with my little glasses on. Yo, I was sitting there listening. But like I said, it was, you know, the thing kept going in and out. And I have a question. Who else goes to these meetings? I mean, it's not my business. It says NA, Narcotics Anonymous, means you're supposed to be anonymous. But I don't give a fuck. I didn't give a fuck if people knew I drank a suitcase of beer. I didn't give a fuck if people knew I drank 42 ounces of beers. You know, I didn't care. I didn't care. And it was raining this morning. It was raining this morning. But I remember what my mother used to always say, if it rains before 7, it'll end before 11. That rain sure did dry up around 11 o'clock. It started raining around 11. Yeah. So, you know, it is what it is. Shout out to the chat. But yeah, that's what I had a question about. Does anyone else know about these virtual meetings? I mean, my connection for YouTube is very good. My connection for Instagram is very good. Facebook is very good. If I want to go to those websites, if I want to sign in and I want to look at my following pages, then I can. There is no problem. There is no issue. It's just like if I'm on YouTube and someone is having uh, uh, a video and they drop the link and I come up there and I hit the link and there is no connection problems then. When you want to troll people or you want to fuck with people or act like a complete fool. But after I finished with that, you guys, I had to call New York. I had to call New York and talk with my grandmother. And I don't know how she be knowing when I'm having a hard time with something, or I'm having some kind of difficulty. And, we'll talk for a little while and we'll laugh and talk, and then she'll say something like, well, baby, are you behaving yourself? I'd be like, yeah, I'm doing good. And she said, no, that's not what I asked you. I said, are you behaving yourself? So I tell her, yeah, yes, ma'am. And she said, Arabia, I know when you're having a hard time. I know when you're having difficulty doing something. I know when you don't want to talk about something. I've been knowing you all your life. You know, there was a time where we were separated from each other, yes. But when you came back into the fold of the family, baby, it was like you had never left. Only thing was you was grown. You was grown then. You wasn't a little kid. You wasn't a baby anymore. I don't mean no harm, but sometimes she talks to me like I am her child. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that, because I know I need love and I know I need some guidance in my life. And I can't depend on anyone on YouTube or on Facebook or Instagram to give me that kind of support and that kind of love, that kind of understanding. So you reach out to the ones that you're related to. That's what I do. And it took me a long time. I hadn't spoken to my grandmother in months. She knew something was wrong. She knew something was up, because I usually check on my grandmother once a month. But like I said, sometimes when I call, sometimes she doesn't remember me. And that be fucking with me. I be scared to call. I be like, I don't know if she gonna know this is me or not. I don't know if she gonna call me by my name. But this morning, where I had no issue, she called me by my name. She told me the family business, as always. We laughed. We talked some more. And then she was like, well, Rabia, make sure that, you take care of yourself. She said, please, please, please stop, you know, with the alcohol. Stop. I said, Grandma, I'm trying. She said, it doesn't matter if you're saying you're trying. Trying is not good enough. Trying, it meaning that you're not going to the store purchasing. That's what trying is. So don't tell me you're trying when I know I can tell by the difference in the tone in your voice whether you're clean or not. Now, yesterday I fucked up. I fucked up bad. But this morning I'm doing good. And now it's the afternoon. And I don't mean no harm, but I'm going back to bed. I'm going back to sleep. It's going to be a long day for me just to sleep all day long. And when I'm not at work, usually that's what I do. I sleep all day long. I'll watch my YouTube, then I'll go to sleep. I'll be watching a movie, you guys, then I'll just automatically just fall asleep. But at nighttime, when it is time for me to actually go to bed, I'll go to bed at a certain time. But if I want to stay up a little while longer and then go to sleep then, but this morning I got up and I went to the office to see if they had any work. They didn't have anything, so I came back home. Now I know I said in that upload I wasn't going to do any more uploads today or any live videos today. But sometimes you just have so many things going on the inside of you. You just have to get up here and start talking. You have to get up here and start sharing. You have to get up here and start asking questions. I'm not blind to what's going on in these YouTube streets. I am not blind to anything that's going on. And what really surprises me is that everyone that's doing the fuck shit is over 45 years old. Everyone that's doing the fuck shit is over 45 years old. Trolling people, calling people names. I mean, sometimes I think I'm in high school. They don't even behave like that. When you go to Job Corps, they don't even behave like that. When you go to prison, they don't even behave like that. If someone has an issue with someone, they don't, start screaming from across the room. They walk up to the person. Either they're going to talk about it or they're going to be about it. And be about it means a fight. And prison is one of the main places where you would think a whole lot of violence goes on. A whole lot of violence goes on. In some prisons, they have a high violence rate. When I was doing time, those women, those that couldn't get along with each other, they knew better to get out there and just start swinging on each other, because they knew there was going to be some kind of consequences to that. You're going to end up in a holding cell somewhere. You're going to get a ticket and you're going to lock up. And you're probably going to sit there until you go in front of the disciplinary committee. And it's kind of hard for me to explain how grown adults get disciplined when they're in prison. If you break the rules, you're going to be punished if you get caught. It's just like if you're messing around with your girlfriend and y'all get caught, that they charge you with a sexual charge. They charge you with a sex act charge. They charge you with being at a place. It's different charges they come up with when they're charging you that with. If they're charging you with that, you're gonna go to lockup. You're gonna sit there. Depending on what kind of offenses it is, or how many times you've been caught doing that, because it's against the rules to sleep with one another. And trust me, they make sure that your family is informed. Oh yeah, they got plenty of ways on how to stop certain things from happening while you're doing time. So it's a reality. I mean, I remember being locked up, doing something I ain't had no business doing, and I knew that there was consequences with that. I didn't give a fuck. I was young. I was wild. Nobody could tell me anything. I knew it all. And when I look back, like I'm 51 now, when I look back, I'm like, damn, Arabia, that was over 20 years ago. Over 20 years ago. When they locked me up for my charge, I was 21. When they sentenced me to go to prison, I was 22 years old. I didn't get out until I was 28 years old. I was 2 years short of my 30th birthday. I didn't meet my biological family, my original family, until I was 30 years old. And these are all things that I have to work out with my sponsor and going to these meetings. When I start working, doing that 12-step program work, and I have to admit who I am and what I am, But I have no problem admitting that I am the BT 1000. I have no problem with that. It's easy. Being a villain or an antagonist is the most easiest thing in the world. It's the most easiest thing in the world. And everyone expects me to be a hard nose and a jackass. Yeah, nobody expects me to behave myself. No one expects that. You know what people are expecting me to do? Even though I have a brand new channel, they expect me to take my old behavior from my big channel to this one and go ahead and do just like what I did before. It seemed like fun at the time when I was doing all that dirt, but as time went on, I found out that it wasn't too cool, especially when other people's feelings were involved. Because a lot of people on this app are very emotional, very sensitive. They try to pretend that they're not emotional or sensitive. They try to pretend that they don't have a heart, that their heart cannot be broken, that they cannot be disappointed, that they cannot be injured in any way. That's not true. This YouTube app is filled up with the same people that go in and out of prison. It's filled up with those people. Those that uh, might have some issues with their mental health. They go in and out of hospitals. Those are the people that's on this app. They're here. They are definitely here. We're all here. But we just don't know each other personally. We don't. I've never met anyone on this app personally. Never. I told you guys, I live in North Charleston, South Carolina. Ronald Jones lives in the same area. We have yet to run across each other in real life. North Charleston isn't that big. A shout out to the chat. It's not that big. And this is your homegirl, Arabia Barboza. That's the question I have. I think I asked all the questions I need to ask. I don't know if anyone is going to try to answer those questions or not, or tell me to just go fuck myself or go find out on my own. That's how you learn. It's by going out on your own and figuring out the questions. The mother bird doesn't keep the baby birds in the nest forever. She doesn't. She lays on the eggs. The eggs hatch. She immediately starts going out there, finding food for them, feeding them. But when it's time to push those same little baby birds out of the nest, oh, she pushes them out. But she doesn't just leave them out there and abandon them and act like she can't find them. Oh no, she knows where her babies are at, and she comes down to their level, and she continues to look out for them, to take care of them. She shows them how to do certain things on their own. And when it's time for them to really go out on their own, they have no problem. I wonder why humans are so difficult. I ain't gonna lie, man. You got some parents that actually kick their kids out of the fucking house. When I was growing up in New York and I was going to public school, you know how many children were being kicked out of their home, telling their parent that they were gay? Just imagine you being 14, 15 years old. You come home from school one day. Your parents are not there. They're at work. So you got to do your homework. You got to do your chores. You got to, you know, hopefully feed yourself something. If there's some food in the refrigerator or in the cabinet somewhere. And then you got to wait for this person to come home. And you'd be like, oh, I want to talk to you. And they'd be like, oh, what's going on? What's going on? And you tell them that you're gay? It depends on what type of a parent they are, whether you get kicked out of the house or not. But a lot of kids were getting kicked out of the fucking house, or they were running away. There was a lot of runaways when I was growing up. I used to run away from home. I used to run away from home. I remember the first time I ran away, I was like 9 years old. That was the very first time. But every time I used to come back home, it was like, we ain't worried about Arabia. We ain't worried about her. I remember one time I was like 14 years old, right? And I got in trouble at school. I think I got put in 3-day in-school suspension for not going to class. Not going to class. That was my biggest thing. I used to cut classes all the time. Go to an extra lunch period. Or I would leave the school altogether. Those people used to call my parents. Or used to send notes home. Yeah, like write the note and put it in the mail and send it home. I would get in trouble once that letter arrived or that phone call arrived. You know what I mean? And then one day I just got tired of it. I got tired of getting my ass kicked. You know what I mean? So I just started running away. I would start out staying away for 2, 3 days, then 2 weeks. Then before you know it, I was working on 2 months. The last time I ran away, I was away from home for like 3 months. Yeah. But every time I went home, my parents, they never beat me. They never said anything. It was like, all right, just take a shower, change your clothes. We'll talk about it later. I never wanted to talk to them about anything. I didn't see the reason. I didn't see any reason to talk to them about anything. I didn't think they was gonna really listen anyway. But, you know, that was then and this is now. In a lot of ways I feel like I'm living my second childhood, being on these YouTube streets. No parents, no mother, no father, no aunt, no uncle, no cousins, no brothers and sisters. Nobody looking at what I'm doing. Nobody worrying about if I ate this morning or not, or if I'm going to eat this afternoon, or what I'm going to eat. No one's asking me those questions. There's no need. We're all on this YouTube app together. We're in the matrix. We're in the in between. We are souls or spirits that see each other but don't see each other. And those that scream the loudest, or show off the most, or flash the most, those are the ones that get all the attention. They get noticed. Same thing like when you go to prison. The loudest gets all the attention. They get all the notifications. They're noticed. Those that are timid or more shy and quiet and reserved, they don't get noticed. They get looked at, but they don't really get noticed. Not like that. I remember when my big channel was growing. I remember when that channel was growing like a motherfucker. I started getting scared because a lot of my short videos, like my short upload videos, those are the videos that would get 400 views, 500 views, some 100 views, maybe 20 views. A lot of my live videos, I would get like 30 views, 50 views, stuff like that. But back then, my channel was growing because I was uh, in a beef with other YouTube creators. I was showing up on Barbie Girl Tina's channel, hitting the link, getting into arguments with other YouTube creators. You know what I mean? I remember, but I had to pay the price. I had to pay the price for everything I did. I had to pay for it. Somewhere, somehow, you're going to pay for something. Nothing is for free. And I got a lot of negative attention. But like I said, the only one that called me out was Sister T. She was the only one brave enough. The rest of them, they might have said something, but they was always behind an avatar. They would never go live. They would never drop their link. Like I'm live right now. My link is dropped. Those of you that are not here, you'll catch the playback. I appreciate your support and your view. But I'm just saying, it is what it is. I got negative attention. I drew the wrong type of crowd around me. Well, of course, everyone left because they all wanted to do their own thing. That was cool. You know what I mean? Because I can go back on that channel today or tomorrow and do a live video from off my YouTube and get like 30, 40, 50 views. And I won't immediately share the video. I'll wait a couple of hours and I'll share it to Facebook. I'll share it to Instagram. And then that's it. I won't even revisit the video. And if I do listen to it, I listen to certain key points in the video, but that's about it. I don't do too much. Not like the way I used to. But this journey that I'm on is a little bit different. And after I'm finished with this, talking and sharing with you guys, I'm going to turn off the whole thing and go back to sleep. And hopefully I'll get up around 4, 5 o'clock in the afternoon, fix me something to eat, take me another shower, change into more clothes, and then, prepare for the next day. And when it's time for me to go to bed, I'm going to bed. I'm not going to be up all night. I got my bedroom door closed. Because for some reason, and I don't mean no harm, you guys, it was earlier, right? I had the bedroom door open where you could see into the hallway, and I could have sworn I could have saw somebody looking at me. So I said, someone said, just close the door until, the sun come up or whatever. But right now, even the door is closed right now. Because it just feels like someone's watching me. You ever feel that way, that someone is watching you? And I'm not talking about like I'm outside the house. I'm inside the house. I'm the only one that lives in this apartment that I live in. Nobody lives here with me. It's very rare that you will actually hear someone in the background. It's very rare. Like when Birdman used to come over, I used to tell Birdman to be quiet when I be doing my videos. If my girlfriend comes over, I don't have to tell her anything. She'll go in the next room until I'm finished or until I'm done. Or she'll leave the house altogether and go back to where she lives, and she probably won't come back over until like the beginning of next week. You know what I mean? And we don't have such a great relationship. We don't. We absolutely don't, because she doesn't respect the fact that things are changing, and my attitude towards her is changing a little bit. Not saying I don't love her, I do, but I know when I need to take a breather. You know what I mean? It's not that important. You know, she's a good person and everything, and I love her, but she's someone that's like not here all the time. You know what I mean? And in those moments, sometimes when I'm by myself, I be like one company, and she's not here. She'll show up like the next day or the next week. I remember when I was working at Walmart, she used to come over every morning. That stopped a long time ago. I guess after that ticket dried up. But like I said, a lot of times people will show you who they truly are when certain things stop happening for you. Trust me, they do it all the time. We ain't got no mama birds over here. I'm gone.